was trying to find business courses, economics, but at the same time, innovation and entrepreneurship. And I found that in ESEI, so I decided to apply.
All right, awesome. And what did you think after your first semester at ESEI?
After my first semester, what really stood out was the pace at ESEI. After doing a bachelor here in Sweden, the pace at ESEI was way higher, and I really liked that because we didn't waste any time. So when I went back to Sweden to celebrate Christmas, I was filled with new information and knowledge, and I felt that the first semester was really good in terms of learning new things, and especially the things that I was looking for, like the business and digital business and all of that. So the first semester was really good.
Awesome, that's great. What would you say were your favorite modules at ESEI?
I would say that we had one module called financial management, and at that course, me and my group, we got the chance to create a business from scratch, or kind of copy a business, and then do research for our business idea, and then pretty much do an analysis of our business and how it will work on the market. And I would say that some of the tools that I got from that module, I use on a daily basis now in my current job as a CEO in my own company, especially when it comes to doing cash flow analysis and all of that. So I would say that was my favorite module because it felt really real when we did it. I would say that all of the team members were excited to set up that business when the module ended. So that would have been the next step if there wasn't a next model coming up.
Awesome, that's great. Moving on to the atmosphere at ESEI, what did you think about the student community when you were studying here?
I really liked it. First of all, people coming from all over the world to Barcelona to study business or something within the field of business. So it was great to be in an environment with people sharing the same ideas and having this entrepreneurial spirit. And also the student community, there was always activities to do. Like for me, for example, I'm into football, so I know that there was some football tournaments that I played. So there's always something, whatever you like, sports or culture, there's always something for you.
So it's pretty active, full on. Yeah. That's great. What about the schedule and the workload?
The workload I mentioned already, but I would say it's possible to combine, like having an internship and at the same time do a master, for example. So that's possible to combine, but and the schedule, I don't know in the bachelors if they're doing the classes at night, but in the masters usually do it in the evening. So that's perfect. You can go to your internship, or you can focus completely on the studies. So I would say for me, coming from a Swedish university, the workload was a little bit more since it was a 1-year master. But so I guess it depends on what kind of person you are. If you like to learn a lot in an intense way, or if you're more the Swedish way, I would say.
Okay, awesome. Perfect. So moving forward, Barcelona, you mentioned that Spain was on the top of your list in terms of where to study. What was the best thing about your experience in Barcelona?
I would say like the whole city itself. I lived in part of the city called Pedralbes, pretty close to the school. And there you have the mountains. It's pretty easy to get to the beach. So I would say the combination of the scenery, you can take a hike in the mountains at the same time go to the beach that day. And as I mentioned, I'm a big football fan. So living in Pedralbes means that you're pretty close to the Camp Nou. So you can go watch Barcelona games. But there's always something to do in Barcelona. And at the time, I wasn't really into startups, but I know now, going into the startup world, that Barcelona is really the place to be when it comes to tech startup. So I would say it's most likely you will be able to find an internship pretty soon when you arrive there, if you just mention the school and what you're trying to do in the future. So it's a great place to find interesting internships as well.
All right, awesome. And well, going into my next question, which is basically about your internship experience and your current work, and your current job. You have a unique experience, which is, you started working as an intern in Neki, and now you are the CEO of Neki Sweden. So tell us a bit more about how, how that opportunity came about.
Yeah, so I would say 2 months after graduating in Barcelona, got an internship in Zaragoza, another city in Spain. So I moved there, and when I moved there, I pretty much approached the company in terms of trying to develop their business in Spain. Because at that period of time that I was studying in Barcelona, my grandfather got Alzheimer's disease, so I got very involved in being a relative to someone suffering from dementia. So I found this company Neki based in Zaragoza, contacted them, and pretty much asked them for an internship because they had products within the field of dementia, so GPS tracking devices for elderly. So I went to Zaragoza. I did an internship there for 6 months, and during that period of time, we started to discuss back and forward on what to do in the future, if I should stay within the Spanish company or move back to Sweden to expand their business to Sweden. So we decided that I should move back to Sweden to start the expansion. So I moved back to Sweden in April 2019 and was pretty much doing the expansion for Neki until January. And now, and we set up, I set up my own company in April. So I did expansion to January this year, and then decided to set off in a new direction based on all the learnings from my first year as an entrepreneur. So now I'm developing the first comprehensive support platform for dementia and cognitive diseases here in Sweden, where the idea pretty much is to gather all innovative suppliers and have them in one platform and app. I don't know if I should get into details, but the Swedish dementia care is pretty much that you have so many great suppliers of devices and services, but in reality, the caregivers, they must jump between different platforms and apps, which means that the workflow is pretty bad, and the preconditions for them to give great quality care to the patient is getting worse. So that's what I'm working on at the moment, and I'm doing this on my own. Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's great. What was the or how easy was it for you to or how relevant was what you studied at ESEI, when setting up your own company?
I would say really relevant. As I mentioned, this financial management course, I would say that it gave me the idea on how to start a business, like doing the groundwork and doing all the necessary research before going into a market. But then, since there's a huge variety of courses within the business management masters there, it was possible to pick the best learnings from each course, and then always have that back in my mind when I'm doing stuff here in my own company. Of course, if you like a course more than the other one, that you will probably spend much more time on like the assignments and all of that. But there's always learning from each course, and I would say I would use all of it on a daily basis. Everything from marketing, sales, especially marketing and sales, but also to have this innovative and problem-solving mindset when facing challenges. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Well, thanks so much, Philip, for sharing a bit of your experience. Now, we want to leave this time open for those connected, for our participants, to ask their own questions directly to Philip. So if you have a question, please just go ahead and unsilence your microphone, ask your question, and Philip will answer. Okay? Well, it seems like we have no questions, so I think we've been very thorough with your experience and how ESEI played a key role with you while following through with your current career. So, Philip, before we end the session today, I have one final question for you. So, what advice do you have for students thinking about attending a program at ESEI?
Well, speaking from my own experience, for example, if you would go into a master's program, I would say that you must try to find some kind of education at ESEI that complements the one that you already have. So, for example, for my case, I did my bachelor in human resources, and graduating here in Gothenburg, I decided to set up this like goal for the upcoming 3 years. And the goal that I had at that point was to become some kind of management consultant or have my own business. So I would say, like, do your research, try to find courses at ESEI that could bring you closer to the end goal. For example, for my case, I had all of this like soft values coming from HR, and I really needed some hard values, so economics, finance, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So I would say try to find a program at ESEI that pretty much complements your current education, or brings you closer to the end goal, I would say.
Awesome, that's great. And for your overall ESEI Barcelona experience, what would you rate? Like, you know, out of 10, what would you, if you could give a number, what would you say that number was?
I would definitely say 10 out of 10. I was really happy when I graduated. I love to come back to Barcelona. I met a former classmate a couple of months ago in Barcelona. Now when she's working with you, going to ESEI in Barcelona, you will have a connection with the city for your whole life, and it's always nice to come back to meet the friends from your school.
Awesome, awesome, great. Well, Philip, thanks so much for sharing your experience with us today. It's been awesome to have you here. Just before we end, so we have a question that just came right in from Daniel. He's asking, do you have to be fluent in Spanish when studying in Barcelona? When studying, our programs are taught in English, so you don't have to speak Spanish. We do have some Spanish language courses that are on that you're able to attend to within the program, but everything that happens on campus, both the program, administration, everything is in English, and we're a very international and multicultural, diverse community at the university. So yeah, everything is in English, and everything is pretty much very international. Okay, Daniel? So awesome, great. So yeah, thanks again, Philip, for making time today out of your busy schedule. I know you must be very busy, but it was really, really great catching up with you, learning about your experience here in ESEI. And yeah, we're looking forward to have you again soon on campus and to meet with you again. Okay.
Thank you very much. And if any questions would pop up now after the session, you can always contact me on LinkedIn. So I will help you if you have any questions there. And of course, you can contact the school.
Awesome, great, great, great. So thanks, Philip, and thank you so much to all of our participants that joined us for today's session. It's been awesome, and we're looking forward to speak to all of you guys soon. Okay, so bye from now. Bye.
Bye-bye.